Welcome back to Let's Play Sundog Frozen Legacy. In our last episode, we got damaged by pirates trying to go to Glory 2, so now I'm going to another city on Glory 2 called Drider to see if I can get a cryogen stored there. I don't know if it's there. I'm gonna go check. And if it's not there, then I'll just go to the other city. And while I'm here, I'll check prices. Oh yeah, I sold all my scatterguns that I brought here. So I made about 210,000 credits. Well, I didn't make that much, but that's how much I have in my bank account. So I'm doing pretty good. Actually, if you count the money that I have on hand, it's going to be 233, I'm guessing. Alright, well, they don't have cryogens here, so let's check the prices. Okay. I'm not seeing anything. Exotic metals. Art objects. Okay, I remember they were selling art objects for a pretty high price on Lorak, the other city with the starport. I think that's how you pronounce it. 2 L's. That'd be like a Y in Spanish. Yeah, I got an empty spot. Let me just store that and I'll go back to the other city and sell it. See if I can make some sort of profit. Other than that, there's not much to this city. There's really not a lot to any of these cities. I mean, they all have pretty much the same thing. Part shops, bars, hotels, you know. And on the same planet, they'll sell basically the same things in the bars and in the part shops. Actually, in the entire system, if there's multiple planets, it'll be the same thing. Alright. So let's take these art objects back to the commodities exchange on Yorak. That actually sounds better. Yorak instead of Lorak. 2 L's. And 2 R's in Spanish should be like a rolling R sound, like arr. Yorak. Yorak. That actually sounds kind of exotic. Okay. So if we sell these art objects, we're going to make 2,500 credits. And all it cost us was just a little bit of time. Didn't cost us any fuel. So just made 2,500 credits in just about a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes. It's not bad. Although I make more running scatterguns, but you know, it's not bad. So let's go to Jimba, the last city on this planet. And the way things are looking right now, I don't know if this is true or not, but it looks like there's 1 cryogen per planet. And you just have to find the city where the cryogen is stored. So if there is a cryogen in the city, then that theory will be somewhat confirmed, and then I suppose I'll come back to the Glory system since there's 2 other planets. It'll allow me to complete the phase. But first we'll go and check here to see if there's anything to it. Now, I've never been to the city before, so I don't know where the commodities exchange is. And it looks like it's not down here. Well, there is a parking spot next to that public transport, so let's go park there. And then the public transport will give us a map of the city. Alright, here we go. And it looks like it's all the way up there. So we Definitely we're in the wrong part of the city, but it's not too far. There it is. Okay. And they do have a cryogen, so let's get it. Alright, while we're here, let's check prices. Okay. Well, it looks like most of here is more expensive than most places. The hand weapons was over 12,000. I wonder if I could have got an even better price in this city than I did on Yorak. I kind of like saying that. Even though I'll never probably come back to this planet after this. Because there's more cities on Glory 1. Well, I might come back if it's the closest planet if I warp in and I need gas or something. Alright. So, since our cargo pod is full of cryogens, let's just go back to John and drop them off. Alright, and I set the warp before I left to John. So, and as you can see, it's taking a really long time to charge up because one of my warp engines is damaged. So I suppose in the meantime, let's check the damage. It is a control node. Let's throw it away. The one part they didn't have for sale. Well, that's okay. They do sell it on John, so as soon as I get there, I will repair it. While we're waiting, we might as well go and install these concentrators into the ship guns. They replace these photon bridges, and they substantially increase the amount of damage that your guns do. So I'm going to take away my scattergun and my shield. I don't need it in my ship, in my inventory for now. Oh my goodness. Right after I installed it, it blew. Well, that was a waste of money. Well, oh, looks like we're at the warp point, so let me put my gun and my shield back in my inventory, and then we'll warp out. Yeah. Now it seems like it's going kind of slow. I don't know, maybe there's a problem with my processor running too many apps in the background at the same time. I'm not sure. But it's not really affecting gameplay too much. Alright. Well, I hope this one doesn't blow up too, or I'm going to be pissed. Okay. Well, the good thing about Banville is that their bar sells most contraband items that you can get only on Warad. The only thing is you can't pick up scatterguns there, so that's why I like to, you know, pick up my contraband parts there. And they do have one bar set up now since the city's expanded. It's like the only other building you can go to right now. But once the city expands again, then they'll have more buildings. Eventually they'll have like banks and part stores and hotels, just like every other city. So let's go drop these cryogens off in the pod. Delivery pod. Yes. Okay, so we're about halfway there. And I didn't mention in the video yesterday that I picked up the other two required things for this phase, the synthesizers and the comm gear. I picked those up on John, And then I went to every other city to see if I could get better prices. And they were selling them for about the same prices, but the ones that I had already purchased were actually selling for higher. So I sold them. Well, first I bought the comgear and synthesizers, put them into the warehouse because my pod was full. And I'm going to buy a concentrator here. What I was saying was, I bought the synthesizers and comgear and stored them in the warehouse because my pod was full. That created an artificial demand, which actually increased the price for the items in my pod. So that's charm. Yeah, and got the price down a little bit. It's pretty expensive, the concentrators here. But it does have the convenience of not having to warp all the way to Wormed. Yeah, discuss it. Oh, come on. Well, anyways, you do create an artificial demand for products if you buy them. So I was able to make a couple thousand profit just by going to just different cities. Then after I went to the last city, I went and dropped them off at Banville. Okay, let's try to buy this decloaker. Because when pirates attack you, sometimes they'll come in cloaked, and you can't see them, so you can't get any shots off, but then they'll decloak right when they're in range. And the problem is, when you're fighting pirates, you're only in like a turret. You can't have any maneuverability. So these pirates, they can circle around you, they can do all sorts of maneuvering tricks and shoot you, and you can only like try to aim at them and shoot. You don't have any maneuverability. Oh, come on. You know what? I'm trying to buy this decloaker, and it looks like it's just not going to be happening, so I'll just come back later for it. Whatever. Let's install this concentrator. If this one blows up too, I'm going to be really pissed. It'll be out like almost 17 grand. Well, I guess that one's not going to explode. And I'm going to keep these photon bridges in case I'm in a battle and one of them blows up from being shot at. So right now I'm going to go back to Drahu, because they do have part stores, and I'm going to pick up a control node. Repair my warp engines. Let's see, and we got a bunch of useless animation. I don't think I need to refuel. I left all my money on Glory because I plan on going right back there. But when I go back there and see if I can pick up 2 more cryogens, then I'll refuel there and then transfer the money back here. Generally, it's a good idea to transfer the money to the system that you're going to ahead of time, because you can't transfer money from a system for some reason. That doesn't make any sense. Apparently, they're still using like 80s banking ATM tactics, I guess. I'm not really sure. Or you can't buy anything on credit. You gotta go to the ATM for all the cash. But they do all the commodities from the bank. So after replacing this, I'm going to end the video. This is Big Low signing off. I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good day. Score 42.